Let me get the Bruce Brown of it all out the way first. I ain't got much to say on that other than baller Bruce Brown didn't say anything other than the obvious, okay? Maybe Katie didn't want it stated. I called him baller Bruce Brown, you bum. And I mean that, yeah, I'm just joking. But you used to clown me about Bruce Brown. Now, he the third best player.
Rightfully so.
Almost messing
Rightfully
around and
so.
getting triple doubles. Put some respect on
Rightfully
Bruce
so.
Brown's name, talking about him like he's Charlie Brown. That boy is a baller.
Because you put him, because you put him in the same
Dorchester's
sentence
own.
as people.
What?
Okay, whatever.
That matters? That matters?
Hey, look, you put him in the same
He's a
sentence
significant contributor.
You were like, they got Bruce Brown?
Just because you didn't know what he brought to the team. Anyway,
I know what he. I know what he brings.
When you used to clown me, he did. Okay, whatever. Okay,
I know
moving on from
it's a blessing. It's a blessing for Bruce Brown. Kyrie was talking about blessings. It's a blessing for Bruce Brown that he's fortunate he's on the team with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Now stop. I mean,
they're lucky to have him. Speaking of bringing it, Kyrie Irving. We got to talk about Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
12 for his first 12. 34 points and 12
now?
assists last night. 34 points and 12 assists last night. All right, from Kyrie Irving, who is like, he's not just a wizard. He's a sorcerer supreme. He is Doctor Strange. When Kyrie Irving is on one, he is one of one. There's really like just a thing of beauty, is a joy forever with him. Like he is just like, when he's on his game, I don't know that there's anybody quite like him. I'm not saying he's the best of anything or the great. I'm just saying there's just nobody quite like Kyrie when he's in his zone, when he's in his bag, right? So that's the first part. Second part, to keep with the superhero theme, this isn't Batman and Robin to me, where, when it comes to Durant and Kyrie. For me, it's more like Cap and Bucky, where I'll take my chances in a street fight. So now that brings me to the Celtics. Because the take I did not like last night, but I understood it, but I didn't really like it, is that Brooklyn's bar, despite everything that they've had to go through, some of it self-inflicted, to get to this point, to get to the playoffs, that Brooklyn's bar is so high that we're like judging them on the fact that they did not blow out the Cavaliers, who I think you thought were going to win that game last night. So it's like, okay, the Cavaliers made a run and made it interesting. So that's some kind of indictment of Brooklyn. Oh, well, Durant and Kyrie can't do this every night. Says who? Well, they have to. We'll see. Against Boston, Michael, and this is where I pass it to you, because I'm sure back in your talk radio days or even on your NBC Sports Boston days, y'all about to have a field day with this series with Kyrie coming back.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Bro, the callers would be lighting up the lines. Bro, I can't call it because here's the one thing I cannot see in this series. I cannot see Brooklyn, even with Robert Williams out, running roughshod over Boston. I don't think Brooklyn wins a short series. I could see this going a 6 or 7 game with either team winning it, or I could see Boston making quick work of Brooklyn. That's how much I respect Boston, even without Robert Williams. It wouldn't shock me, despite the firepower that the Nets bring to the table, it wouldn't shock me if this were a 5-game series with Boston advancing. The only thing that would shock, so it's a hard one to call because of this dude and Kyrie Irving. It's a hard. I'm infatuated with their ability, just the two of them, with enough help from the likes of Bruce Brown and others, obviously. But the Celtics, man, they're so freaking good, even without Robert Williams. Until again, that's the only result that would shock me in this series is if Brooklyn ran through Boston. That I don't see. Anything else, I can see it.
Yeah, great. I mean, look, it's a great series and a lot of great storylines for obvious reasons. And, you think about it, these teams played last year, and what a difference. So last year in the playoffs, Brooklyn did exactly that, Mike. They made quick work of Boston. They beat them in 5 games. And the game that Boston won, they needed to scratch and claw and everything they had at home to beat Brooklyn. So last year, Boston has no Jaylen Brown because he was out with a wrist injury. And Brooklyn had Kyrie, had James Harden healthy. Obviously, Kevin Durant had Joe Harris on the bench. They had
that was probably
Blake Griffin.
That was probably the apex for that group, right? That was probably the apex for that group that iteration of the Nets.
They looked amazing. They looked amazing in that series. Then remember they went in and then Milwaukee was next, and then they kind of steamrolled Milwaukee the first 2 games.
Yeah,
they're like,
Harden
oh man, this is unfair. And then so I would say this time last year, Brooklyn was marching toward something special. And it's a little different now. And also, I left out Brooklyn on the bench last year. One of their assistant coaches, defensive-minded assistant coaches, was Ime Udoka. And so now Ime is in Boston. Jaylen Brown is healthy.
Yeah.
James Harden's gone. Joe Harris is hurt. I think the series is interesting. The series is not quite even. I would give the advantage to Boston. I think Boston is a better team right now, and it might be a different story if you have Ben Simmons out there. I think Boston's going to win it in 6 games.
6? I can see that.
But
Celtics enter the postseason, #1 defense, East best record, and the league's best net rating since the calendar turn of 2022. If you're pinning me down for a pick, I'm going to go Celtics in 7. Look, it's hard for me to, I'm tempted when it comes to Brooklyn because it's still remnants of last year for me, even though you and I have kind of switched positions at a few times this year when it comes to the Nets.
Yeah.
But I think the Celtics, even without Robert Williams, are so good, especially their 1-2 punch can go toe-to-toe with the Nets' 1-2 punch.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.